It's Jake again from Straight Up Spine and Posture. The next exercise we're going to be going over is the knee squat. This is kind of a little safer variant, not load, but it's going to kind of work those quads as well and kind of get a stretch in that front of the hip. So the way you want to do this, make sure you have a pad under those knees. It gets a little shaky unless you want to tough it out with your knees on the ground. But again, nice pad. We have an Eric's pad here. I'm just going to start kneeling on it about hip width apart here. I don't want to be too close as I do this. And then I'm just going to sit back. Feet, it's kind of up to your preference, whether you want to have on your toes here or flat foot. I prefer flat foot as I do this. It gets a little stretch in my ankles as well here. From here, we're not just going to be sitting straight up here. We're going to get a posterior tilt. So I'm going to tilt my pelvis back. I'll show you from the side angle as well. And then from here, I'm going to be squeezing my butt, driving with my hips forward until I get a full lockout here. When I get full lockout here, you'll feel a little stretch on those quads. And as we come back, we're controlling as well, keeping that posterior tilt as we do so. If I don't keep that tilt and just kind of drive up, I'm kind of leading with my chest, and then I can overextend at the top there. I want to keep that tilt, control it down as we go down, and control the fashion here as we do so. Again, if we don't want to keep that tilt, we're going to kind of be using our back and kind of lifting with our forward. You're not going to get that stretch on the hips. We want to be able to keep that tilt underneath, squeeze through the glutes, till we get a full lockout. We don't need to push the hips any forward. We're just gonna squeeze those glutes as hard as we can at the top and then back down. And from the side, it looks like this. If I don't do it with the tilt, it would look something like this. And then with the tilt that we want, tucking it underneath, squeezing through the glutes all the way up and controlling all the way back down. Again, without the tilt, you can kind of see the tilt in my hips here. This is no tilt. I'm just kind of leading with my chest. And then with the tilt, squeezing, leading with those hips on that lockout and on the way back down. There's a couple ways. If this way is a little too easier, there's two ways we can use a band. I'll show you those in just a second. Again, the first method with the band, if you have a band here and a full rig, you can go across the rig here. As we do so, keeping that band still a little bit of tension as we do it. Movement stays the same. Tilt that pelvis, squeezing through the glutes. Make sure we're really squeezing the glutes at the top here, getting that full contraction, and then keeping it on the way back. Again, that's going to give us that full maximum tension here. We don't want to start with it not even on our hips as we drive up. Next method we'll go over here in a second. That second method with the band, again, we can use it on a post. If you only have one solid post here, it doesn't have to be a rig, can be any spot here. We're going to wrap around, feed it through itself, and then we're going to step through it. Might be a little easier if you stand up and do it. I'm just going to do this so I stay in frame here. And then from here, notice how it's loose. You want to slide forward till there's some good tension on that band before we even get started. Again, I'm going to keep the hips tilted and then driving through the glutes, keeping that good form. All the way at the top, big strong squeeze. Nice little stretch in the front here, and then controlling it on the way back down. Squeezing through, and then controlling it all the way back down.